We've all heard of a credit score, but do you know what your risk score is?
That's a big fat no.
Don't need it.
Our great friend at the show, JB Bryan, is here with the details. JB, it's great to see you.
It's good to be here, and it's good to see both of you inside with your suntans.
We got them last week outside.
Yes, and you look great. And risk scores are a very good practice for us as financial professionals to get in tune with what your risk scores are as an investor. Because back in the day, when I started in the business, we used to use little pieces of paper and ask specific questions, and each question would get some points. Now we have these elaborate algorithms and software packages where clients can just click and answer questions. So today, I just wanted to take an attempt to take us back to where risk analysis really started and oversimplify something that has become complicated, but it's still very important that you understand why you should know where you stand as an investor when it comes to risk, because we're trying to take an intangible, how you think, how you feel, and turn it into something tangible like a number. So for me, I feel that there's three key things that you need to really keep in mind when you're thinking about how I can determine your risk score.
I feel like both of us are just staring at you like lost sheep because I have no idea what she's talking about.
Yes, you do.
Thing
yes,
number
you do.
one.
What is
Yes,
it?
you do. I could already assume, like, for both of you, knowing you both so well, what your scores are. But I would say, like, the thought first, I would ask you, like, what is your time horizon for this money that you want to invest? And then the second question would lead us into, what is your expectation for the market over the long term? And then I will follow up with, how do you feel about short-term volatility in the marketplace? So if your first question was your time horizon for this particular batch of money, and you said, well, I'm not going to need it for 10 years, then I could give you like a 5. If you said, no, I'm going to need it in a year to send my child to college, then you might get a 1 for that particular investment.
And the lower score is not as good as a higher score?
Never, no, that's not true. This is where your score, this is where both scores are good, but either score tells me more about what your temperament is as an investor and how that particular investment portfolio should be invested or allocated. And then the next question about your performance over the long term, where Jessica might say, well, I expect this investment to outperform the investment over the market over the long term. And you may say, well, I just want to make sure that I have what I started with, and that it has slight interest over the long term. Exactly. I don't want to lose it. So you would get a 5, you would get a 10, because there'd be more pressure on investment performance for you. So that would be, so now you're up to a 10 and you're at 2 if you got 1 point. So is this
kind of like when you go to your investment person and they figure out whether you're kind of conservative with your money?
Yes.
Are you more willing to take risks?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're or short-term volatility, if you say, oh, I expect to even lose money over a short period of time, and you go, no, I don't care, I always want to see a positive return, then again, you could get a 1. So now you're at a score of 3 and you're at a score of 15. So just using that to oversimplify, that's right, I could see you as an aggressive investor and see you just as conservative. And then as we took that score and see you as a conservative investor, then I would say, well, this portfolio, to make you happy, needs to be in risk-averse investments.
And this is important because if you're not familiar with it and you're going in, it's a great way to kind of give some clarity to yourself.
Yes.
You may think like, oh, I'm conservative, but really the numbers reveal I can afford to be aggressive.
And then sometimes people come in and they think they're aggressive, but they analyze their score and they're not. They're conservative because they have this, I want to double my money, but I don't have a lot of time, or I want to, so they have to
We're
really,
out of time.
Okay.
JB
We're
Bryan,
out of time too.
JB Bryan, thank you. She offers free money seminars every Wednesday at noon and every Sunday at 3 for business owners. Pre-registration is required.